you wonderful people. I am at Upper Mud Lake in West Virginia. Never been here before, so this is all new to me. Not sure what it's going to be like. It's a small lake, much like Beach Fork. It is 10 horsepower only. There is no launch fee, which is a little different, and it looks to be on this end very deep. Google Maps took me to a basically a dead-end gravel road on my first trip here. So I learned something about what not to follow, but the good thing about it was I got to see the other side of the lake, which is basically one huge stump field. There were trees everywhere, all the way across the lake. So I'm guessing it's shallower there, I don't know. But this is what it looks like. I'll turn my camera around so you can see. There's a lot of folks here, more than I expected. It's not an easy drive. It's about an hour and a half from Ashland. So this is a little farther than normal for me, but it's one that I've always wanted to come to since I got my West Virginia license. So I thought I'd do it. It's a pretty little lake, and I think it's only like less than 400 acres, so I might be able to fish a lot of it today. I'm going to fish, well, this is one, I think this is the right side of the lake, and then if you go around the left side. So I'll probably start over there and just work down that bank and go on around, see what happens. A lot of bank fishing on this side, so I figured I would skip that. This is the launch ramp, which is very nice. Well, I tell you, one thing West Virginia does, even on these little tiny lakes, this is some really nice stuff. I mean, it's new. You know, the dock itself is very nice if you want to bring your boat here. Like I did say, it is a 10 horsepower only lake, so you have to either have trolling motor, 10 horsepower, or like me, I'll be pedaling with my feet. But overall, very pretty. I'm excited to be here. There's some weeds growing out here, nice and clear, and it is basically a bluegill and minnow lake, so right up my alley. Anyway, let's get this thing started. I got my kayak loaded and got the cameras working, so come on with me. Let's see what we catch. The adventure is beyond words. There's a boat, and he had a real hard time getting on his trailer to leave, so two of us had to help him basically physically lift the boat and get it on the trailer, but we got it there. And so I'm just now getting out of the water. It's almost 2. So it's always something different. Nice people. Got to talk to another fellow who's, I think, heading to Beach Fork, and I'm trying to talk him into striper fishing, so we'll see. But anyway, I'm on the lake. It's beautiful, and we're going to start fishing, so let's see what I catch. I just went over marks of, I mean, they were everywhere. Bait down about 16 to 18 feet. So I thought I've got to at least throw something at them, see if I catch anything. Got my Kayak on, imagine that. I mean, they were stacked up. Let's see what happens here. Doing about a 10 count. I got dust on everything from that road. Lord, stuff is coated. There are just marks everywhere though, and I just had a fish hit me. I went down to a little 2.5 inch Kayak. I was fishing the 3.5 inch and just had a hit. I can see them all coming up as it's going down. It's really pretty cool. Let's see here. I got another bite. Sit here and jig all day. It would be awesome. Another bite. I am getting hit. I can see all these marks, and it's funny because they're all coming up. I guess when they've seen that little jig drop, they're coming to see what it is. Look at that. They have taken the back end off of it and pulled it loose. All right, I'm gonna put another one on and see what happens here. Shoot, I just haven't even gotten away from all the people yet. In the middle, I lost another couple jigs where they just, and I saw one silver flash. I swear they look like white bass when they came up. I have no idea. So I'm going to fish the good old wacky worm now and see what happens. This bank's got some shade on it, so I was going to the other bank, but it's nothing but sun, so I'm going to head down this bank instead. Yum dinger. So we'll see how that does. I was using a 5. I'm going down to a 4. We'll see. If not, I'll throw something else here in a little bit. Been a little bit slow. All right. Good old green sunfish. Get the skunk off the boat for the day. Well, it's not a skunk. Boy, it's a big one. Anyway, it's a green sunfish, and you have got the skunk off the boat, buddy. Thank you. Sheesh. Oh, man. I took him right into the tree. Yep, right into the tree. Shoot. All right, let's try another one. In the brush. Ah, dang it. Second one. Well, crap. I'm sure this is going to break off too. Ah, dang it. Second one. Oh well. And again, the media mod stops working. I have no idea why I'm losing audio using this media mod. It is a GoPro media mod. It's not a generic. Here I'm just talking about switching out baits. It's a long grass flat coming up. It's not super deep, like 5 to 6 feet deep, so I'm trying to throw the Kayak. I saw a lot of minnows there and looked about this size, so I'm trying to match the hatch. But getting back to this audio issue, I really don't know what to do. I've stopped using the media mod now. I'm not even using my battery bank. I'm just using batteries and the camera. That seems to work. I hate to have all this footage and just discard it. So this is down by the beach. If you've never fished here, it's a real pretty looking area. Didn't catch anything here, but looks very fishy, and I'm sure at different times of the year and or day, there's a lot of fish in here. So bear with this one again. I will have to commentate on some of these segments, and I'll have to shorten this down so you don't listen to me blab the whole time. But thanks for watching, and we'll get it figured out. This is the bank opposite the beach, and I do get some hits here. I really like this bank for wacky worm especially. It's one of those steep banks that drop off into 10 and 12 feet right off the rock face. So let's see what happens. Well, the bank across from the beach didn't produce any fish. This is actually going back down toward the boat ramp, and it's the bank opposite over there. That is also another nice steep bank, and for me, a very good bank to throw a wacky worm on. And I do finally hook one there. One thing I've noticed, I'm struggling getting the net out of the holder when I'm fighting these fish, and I switched out nets, and I went to a little more expensive net, but it's shorter, and the other net that I got from Ollie's is actually much easier to grab because I can just grab the pole and pull it out, and it's a longer handle. So I think I'm going to switch back after watching me in silence, but watching me struggle several times trying to get the net out. So I think, if nothing else, I'm learning something about this. So let's switch over to the Hero 8 so you can hear what I'm saying. Oh, my goodness. That was a long time in coming today. Finally, I'm on a steep bank. It's in the shade. I'm going to guess 12 inches, so let's see. Whew. I have fished a long time. And got a bite finally. Yep. I even close his mouth. Close your mouth, big boy. Well, shoot. Let me take this out. All right. Well. Shoot. About didn't know what a bite was like. Been so long. There we go. All right, now let's try it again. Let's see. That was a largemouth, not a spot. Looked kind of like a spot. All right, he is right at 12 inches. That would count in a kayak tournament. Thank you, bud. I might not catch another one, so I'm going to hold you up and just enjoy you for a minute. You're a beautiful fish. I'm going to let you go. Thank you, buddy. All right, that's encouraging. I just got to this bank and I was going to throw a tube jig, and I thought, you know what, this bank it's like 15 feet straight off the bank. I thought I better just go back to the wacky worm, and I am very glad I did. And this is a 5-inch, so I'm going to rig it up on the other side. He didn't throw it, so it's still usable. All right, let's try for another one. Yay! Bug time. I've just swatted off my arm. I am not doing what I didn't do last time. When I was at East Lynn, I got eaten up. I had probably 10 bites down my leg, on 4 or 5 on this leg. Had, I don't know, 5 or 6 on this arm, a couple on this arm. Like, good Lord. So we're going to put on some Repel and keep those suckers away. God, I hate mosquitoes. Here I happened to actually catch someone's old line, so I made sure that I grabbed it up and rolled it up, and it was a pretty large amount of line, but you always want to get that out of the lake if it's possible so a bird doesn't get tangled up in it. But just wind it up, and I think I just say I'm going to wind this up, take it home, and throw it away, which I always do. And actually I will cut that line with scissors several times to make sure it's not in a ball like that when it goes to the dump. I've been fishing a tube jig down this entire bank, and I rig it in, it's called stupid tube style, and I had a fish hit and kind of knock it loose, so I had to re-rig it. So I switched to the Hero 8, and I'll talk about it a little bit. So if you've ever wondered what a stupid tube looks like, this is what it is. By bluegill, and it knocked my jig out. This is called a stupid tube. You can rig it. Now this is only a 2 3/4 inch jig, and it's hard to find these tube jig heads that fit these small of tubes. But what you're able to do is basically you run the hook through backwards first, and then push it through the head of the tube, and then you're able to rig it Texas style, basically. So not doing a very good job here, but because this tube is kind of small, it's a little bit harder. But I just have not had much luck with anything with any large profile. So you just take it and run it through that top part of the tube, and there you can see it's weedless, and I can fish it all down through here without any problem. So if you ever tried a stupid tube, I only caught a couple fish on them this year, but it's something I really like the look of, and I like the way that it works in the water. Just a matter of finding some fish to bite it. So just something I'm doing now, something different anyway, trying to. Well, I stopped using the stupid tube and went back to the wacky worm around the stick-ups. And I believe I had on a 4-inch wacky worm at this time. Still, it's a Yumdinger red, a red bug. And actually found a little fish to bite. So it was nice to catch something. And this was a long day, y'all. I mean, I caught very few. The ones I finally did start catching were just right about now. So I fished the entire day, caught the one on that one wall, and I caught a couple others or whatever, but this was just a long day. So sometimes it's like that. And I got this little guy in. I'll switch over to the Hero 8, and let's talk about it. Shoot. You know, he even bit. He hit it and ran right at me, and so the line was still slack, and it never did show I was getting a bite. All right, well, that's about a 10-incher. Let's get that out of there. Oh, yeah. Sorry, dude. Let's see. I'm gonna guess 10. Isn't it funny how much smaller a 10-inch bass looks compared to a 12? I mean, he is, well, it's 9 and a half, so not quite 10, but all right. But whoa, not the crotch, not the crotch. All right, buddy, let's go. Well, see, the bites have been few and far between, but that's a fish in the boat. And I've still got some daylight to fish, so we'll keep I'll keep going down. I'm going down to this point. I'm going to cut across and fish a little bit. Then I got to head back to the truck. I don't know that I want to be out here super late because the road coming in here should be called Hairpin Road. It is ridiculous how God, how windy it is and how many hairpin curves there are. It was crazy. And if you're wondering what I'm using, I've shown this before. It's the Yum Dinger Red Bug. It's my favorite color. It looks great in the water, and honestly I catch fish with it whenever they are around. So hope that helps. I noticed on this point some shad being chased by a bass, and so I quickly switched to my Kayak, little 2.5 inch one, and this guy hit right away. It's just always fun when I can see them chasing shad. So when you're on the water, it always pays to just kind of watch for fish breaking the water or minnows that are being chased across the top of the water, because that means there's usually active feeding fish chasing them. Let's go to the Hero 8 and we'll talk about it. Real quick, just a little fella. It's a largemouth. All right, guy. Thank you. Let's see if I can catch another one here. Well, I'm still on the same point, and there are still active fish here. So trust me, after fishing this entire day and catching just 1 or 2 fish, it was so much fun to be able to cast almost back to back and bring in fish. They weren't huge, but you know what? When you fished all day, any size bass is a lot of fun to catch. I think this one I just showed to the camera. I couldn't get my Hero 8 to turn on for some reason. And that's what it does to me. I've actually ordered new batteries. They're actual GoPro batteries, not the generics I have now. And I'm hoping that fixes that problem because it is so frustrating. So just a little guy, but always fun to catch. And I'm going to keep trying to see if I can catch another one. Woohoo! So it was about this time that about 20 side-by-sides went screaming by. And you'll notice I look over my shoulder. I could not believe how many there were, how long it took all of them to go by, and how loud they were. I guess it's coming from the campground, so maybe that's the main road to go to a general store or something. But there were a ton of those side-by-sides, and they were all heading down that road toward dark, and it was loud. I just did a big production on my extra equipment. I don't know if it even came through or not. This camera sometimes drives me crazy. All right, the Hero 8, not the 11. I have added to my equipment repertoire a Suptig battery pack. I got it on Amazon. I think it was like $39. I have used it twice now, and both times I've been able to film or video the entire trip, and my trips are 6-7 hours long. One battery, no problem, hasn't overheated. The other thing I've added is called a media mod to the GoPro Hero 11. That little foam round thing up there is supposed to be a wind blocker, or it muffles the wind sound. But the thing that allows me to do, if the audio today is not good with my camera, I can now add a wireless mic to my hat or to my lapel, whatever. So I'm going to wait and see, but I just wanted you to see what I've added. Like I say, the Suptig battery pack is awesome. That media mod so far seems to be working well, except for the first time I used it, which was a couple weeks ago. I had no sound for the video, or no sound at all. It was just, it's silent. So I went to YouTube and found out what to do to fix it. So today I've checked it 2 or 3 times to make sure it's working, and it is. But dear God, let me go wait for these. Oh, that was enjoyable. So anyway, with the media mod, it will allow me to actually add a wireless microphone. That's why I bought it. I wanted to try the directional mic, so when you hook this up to your Hero 11, I think it fits the 9, 10, 11, and 12. It'll actually show a little thing on the screen. You have a media mod hooked up, and that's supposed to be directional. So it's got it facing forward. I'm going to see how it works. And if it works well, then I don't have to worry about a wireless microphone. If it doesn't work, then I can add a wireless, and hopefully you'll be able to hear me when I'm using the camera, which usually sits over my shoulder. Well, this seems to be a common theme in my videos or fishing trips, but I finally caught a decent-sized bass. And understand, when I say decent size, for me, 12 inches or bigger is decent size, because
in kayak tournaments here, it has to be 12 inches or bigger. So if it's over 12, I'm happy, because it means if I were fishing a tournament, I would have a fish on the board, and that's really all I try to do. But he ran up the bank, so I didn't know he had even hit for a little bit, because he took the slack out and ran toward me as opposed to going away. So I have to get the hook out of him, but he was a good sized one for me, and I was happy to catch him, and it's a great way to end the trip. So let's go to the Hero 8 so I can actually talk to you about him.
God, this camera is driving me crazy. Well, all right, I'll do this again. Thought I'd already done it. He is 13 inches, so in a kayak tournament I would have had two that counted, 112 and 113. Not that it matters to anybody but me, but I wouldn't have had a skunk for that day. He did swallow it, so I'm gonna have to work that out of him. Oh dude, yay! Maybe catch one more before it gets dark. What a beautiful fish. They're very healthy bass here, that's for sure. Come up through his gills and try and get that hook and not hurt him. Easier said than done sometimes. Just about got it. You're able to work it. Oh shit, this is bad. All right, well, he's gonna have a sore tummy, but he's all right. I'm gonna let him go. And there he goes. But that's how you get it out of there. You just have to go in the gill and kind of turn the hook, and then you get the hook so you can then grab it and pull it out. And his stomach lining was definitely a little bit damaged, but that should heal. It wasn't anything that he needs to breathe, so that's a good thing. And I'll wrap it up with that bass. I can't do much better than that. It's starting to get dark. Well, I mean, I can do better, but for me on this day, ending on a 13-inch bass is 2 thumbs up. So I will say one more time, thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video.